Greetings, friends. I'm AK.
And I'm Laura.
And we are
The Chainsaw Girls. On today's episode, I have to sing the song.
That's what I was doing in my head when I'm doing this.
Jeepers, creepers, how'd you get those peepers? Is that it?
I think it's weird you get those peepers, but it's okay.
Well,
also, I'm glad you sang that version because the other version in this movie drives me insane and it's been stuck in my head all day.
I know, we've been singing it
the one
all
that's
day
like,
long.
Jeepers, where'd you get those peepers?
So if you can't tell by our song, we are covering 2001's Jeepers Creepers.
It is currently on Tubi, Roku TV, Pluto TV, and Prime is where I found it. So it's a lot of places.
Yeah, I think I watched it on Prime, but I think it might have had a commercial or something.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing lately,
Ugh,
but I try to
annoying.
avoid it altogether. I watched this on Tubi.
Well, we love Tubi. This had a $10 million budget. It grossed $59.4 million at the box office.
Wow.
And it was written and directed by Victor Salva.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like me to read the IMDb?
Yes.
All right, let me pull it up here. Okay. Oh, it's loading. Okay, here we go. A brother and sister driving home through isolated countryside for spring break encounter a flesh-eating creature which is in the midst of its ritualistic eating spree.
Mm-hmm.
That about sums it up.
Mm.
So I can't believe we're already slap happy and this is only episode 2 for us.
Oh my goodness. It's because we did a big one before this.
Oh, we
That's
sure
why.
did.
And if you're watching on YouTube, we have the Creeper back here, a little action figure in the background that you said you forgot you even had.
I did, yes. That is from, I believe the brand is, can you move the cup so we can see the brand
I'm
there?
afraid it's going to fall. Oh,
I
no,
think
it's
it's
not.
Migo, or is it? Is it Migo?
I can't read that. Oh, yeah.
They're amazing. They sent me a box of toys, and that happened to be one of them.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's cute.
He's scary, but I love it. Okay.
I know. It's the only Jeepers Creepers toy I've ever seen.
Yeah, same. Can I also just say throughout this movie and throughout my notes, I did not know what to call the Creeper. I didn't look at what he was actually cast as.
His name is Creeper.
The Creeper.
Yeah, he's the Creeper.
I kept writing, I'm like, is his name Jeepers?
It's literally the Creeper is his name.
Yeah, the Creeper.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like he needs a name. I feel like we need to name him at some point during this episode. Like the Creeper, yes, accurate. But also I feel like his name would be like Ronaldo or something.
What? I love it.
No offense to any Ronaldos. I don't know why that name just came to mind. I don't know. We'll think of it.
We'll think of it.
something.
We'll come
Let
up
us
with
know
it.
what you think the Creeper's government name should be.
Yes, we want to hear from you. So before we hop right into it, the beginning of this movie, so the opening scene,
Yes,
is loosely based off of a true story.
a true crime story that actually happened in Michigan. And normally when Michigan gets referenced in our episodes, I'm like, woo woo, but not for this one.
So it is loosely based off of the murder of Marilyn Depew. Now I'm going to talk about some unsettling things here. So if you want to skip ahead and not know what happened here, totally fine. But I just figure it's important to touch on.
Yeah.
So Dennis Depew is a real like lurch looking grotesque man. He kind of looks like Herbert. What is his name? Munster? Yeah, he kind of looks like Herbert Munster. You can look him up. He's a weird looking dude. Anyways, he was not a nice man. He, I believe, threw his wife down the stairs.
He was abusive.
He was very abusive, and he ended up murdering her. And this couple was on a drive, and they were playing the license plate game, and they came across Dennis Depew's vehicle, and they saw him throw what looked like a wrapped up body behind a school or something like that. And I think something to the effect of like he might have seen them and then he followed them and then they lost him, but they turned back and they wanted to see like what it was that he disposed of. And I don't know if they actually discovered the body or not. I can't recall. I listened to a podcast on it. If you guys wanted to know in detail, like definitely go down your own rabbit hole on this. But the long and short of it is Dennis Depew murdered his wife. And the opening scene is similar to what actually happened in real life with this couple.
Yeah, that's scary. That's wild. I had no idea that this opening scene of the movie was based on true events.
No, I didn't either. And Dennis Depew was eventually discovered. He moved states, created a new life, new name, et cetera, got into a new relationship. And I believe it was his wife was watching Unsolved Mysteries, and he popped up on Unsolved Mysteries, and essentially that is how he was discovered. And I want to say he might have, I don't,
Taking his own life.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how he went out.
I think that's how he went out.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did not suffer and go to prison or anything like that. He took his own life, and it's all just very sad. But the opening scene is based off of that. So if you want to learn more about it, we will put some links in the show notes so that you can deep dive.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this whole opening scene goes through just that. So
Yeah, so we have brother and sister. We have Trish and Derry. It is spring break, and they are driving. Where are they driving to, AK? Do you remember?
they're going on spring break, and it sounds like they're going home for spring break.
That's right. They are going home. Why they're driving, I don't know why they wouldn't just fly, but to each their own. And they're also playing the license plate game.
I mean, a lot of people do like to drive over fly, especially right now. Some people would actually not want to get on a plane at all, and they will just drive everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair.
And also they're like both in college around the same time, so they're probably roughly around the same age. They probably don't have a lot of money, so they're
Right.
whatever. They're just going home. I mean, they're not really going anywhere fun. It sounds like for
Yeah.
spring break, and definitely not now.
Yeah. They seem to have a pretty decent relationship.
Yeah, they're siblings, so they're bickering. You know, there's a little bit of actually a lot of bit of teasing,
Mm-hmm.
but they do seem to overall have a good relationship.
Yeah, very, very sibling.
Like it's hot out. They're in the middle of nowhere. They're taking the back roads home, and they're doing this because I guess Trish at one point said that she likes the scenic route.
Yes, and I believe they filmed this in Florida. Yes, Ocala. They were
Mhm.
filmed in Ocala.
Yeah.
Yep. And I guess like the highway where much of the film was shot wasn't like deserted enough. So the director got local homeowners to uproot their mailboxes temporarily so that you wouldn't like see them in the shots.
I'm so curious how much they paid them to do that.
I'm sure they paid them something because
They
like, they
had
had a
to.
$10 million budget. Like that's
Yeah.
not nothing.
I'll let you dig up my mailbox for I don't know. I don't know how much I would take, to
I
be
know.
honest.
No, for real. And I guess Justin Long and Gina Phillips, they play Derry and Trish. They were able to improvise a lot of their scenes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. They have very authentic interactions.
Yeah, I felt that way too.
So they see an RV ahead of them and they speed up because they want to read the license plate. So they are also playing a license plate game. But I've never heard of this license plate game. I have played them before. But normally the ones that I've played, you have to find a different state. And I guess you tally up points. I don't really remember. This was like
I don't
a
know how to
childhood
play that
thing.
game at all.
It was like if you see a new state on a license plate, you claim it or whatever. So what they're
Oh.
doing is they are trying to read vanity plates.
Okay.
So this one says like Derry, I was gonna say Justin. Derry thinks it says one thing, and then Trish is like, no, that says sexy forever. I win, like point for me or whatever.
Yeah.
And they drive past and it's like this little old couple. which is
Oh
so
yeah,
cute.
it is really cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super cute. Mm-hmm.
And so they're chatting, you know, he's singing there because there's nothing on the radio. He's trying to be funny. He's kind of like taunting her a little bit. They're just having normal interactions. And then we see this beat up truck come rushing up behind them from like through the front of their windshield. Like we can see them in the seats up front, and then we just see this car getting closer and closer and closer.
Yep.
This truck gets all up on their ass, starts honking at them, and it's like
It's a 1941 Chevrolet heavy duty cab over engine, in case you were curious.
so that's what the creeper is driving?
Yes.
Oh wow.
And it is in real life a complete shitbox. I guess they had a lot of issues with that car.
I mean, it looks like they would if that was the actual car, if that was the actual
Yeah.
status of the car.
1941, man.
Yeah, I don't know anything about cars, but
Do you know Gina Phillips was 30 years old when they shot this?
really?
She looks like 21.
I was gonna say she looks 18.
Not that 30 is old by any stretch, but
Right.
like, yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
So this truck rather, is honking at them, riding their ass, drives around, gets in front of them, and you can see that the license plate looks like it says "beating you." Okay.
Mhm.
Trish starts, you know, they're shaken up after this.
Yeah, because it's an aggressive driver. It's
Oh
a
my
very
gosh.
aggressive driver.
And
yeah.
someone riding your ass like that, you don't really know what to do because they could just run you off the road. Like you can't stop.
And you're in the middle of nowhere. That's
Exactly.
scary, dude. And we,
It's
we've definitely driven down some very deserted
Oh, yeah.
highways to get to indie shows,
Did I
and
ever tell
it can be
you?
scary.
Did I ever tell you the time I was followed? I didn't?
No?
Yeah, one time I was followed. I was driving home from work when I was probably a teenager, and I noticed that this car was driving alongside me. I never look at the car next to me. If I feel like your driver's side is right alongside mine, I will not look over. I don't know
I
if
don't
it's
either.
just
No, I don't either. I'm the same.
okay, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's just a city thing or
I think it
because
is. I think it's a city thing for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm trying to remember, is this an unwritten rule? Did someone tell me this? But I remember talking to someone else before about that of how, yeah, oh yeah, you don't look at the other car because what if they like shoot you? And I'm like, what? Like that sounds so absurd.
No,
But
but I had something like that happen in New Jersey where I looked over and the guys in the it was terrifying. I was with my mom. It was very scary.
and
It
they're
was
trying to fuck with you.
yes, it was scary.
Yeah.
It was terrifying.
Did they
They
like
showed
flash
us
a gun?
weapons. It was very scary.
That's the shit I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
So it sounds so absurd, but it happens.
It happens.
It's not unheard of.
Yeah.
So if there's a car driving alongside me, I will not look over because chances are this is just how it is.
Yeah.
Chances are it's some man trying to fuck with me. And it's happened before. And so it happened this night where I was like, I'm not looking, whatever. And then finally, like, because I'll start slowing down a little bit. I
Uh-huh.
don't usually speed up. I'll
Right.
slow down a little bit. And
Right.
then when they slow down, I'm like, all right, here we fucking go.
Oh my
You know?
God, so scary. Oh
And
my
so at one point, I think I like slowed down, then I sped up and I kind of like glanced over because I'm curious, I'm
Mhm.
trying to see as I'm driving up who this is, like when I'm in their blind spot.
Right.
And I could see it's some guy and he was looking over and I'm like, fuck. I turn down a road, he turns down a road. And I'm like, all right, maybe it's just a coincidence. But at the last second, there was a side street. I didn't turn on my blinker. I didn't slowly get over. At the
Yeah.
last second, I swerved down this road and he swerved down the road after me. But I already got a jump start on him and there was a car coming, so he couldn't turn right away. So I got a little bit ahead of him. I randomly like wove down these side streets, pulled
Whoa.
into a driveway, turned off my car, turned off the lights and ducked. And literally waited there for like, I don't know, 10 minutes.
Whoa.
I tried to call my boyfriend at the time and my fucking cell phone died.
Like literally out of a horror movie.
Literally out of a horror movie. Like
That's
I'm in the
so
middle of telling him
scary.
where I am and then my phone just dies. And this was like, I don't know. It was probably like 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
So like
So
I
a cell
probably
phone dying kind of makes sense.
yeah, and I probably didn't even have a charger in my car.
At that point, no.
So that shit happens and it's terrifying and people are crazy. I don't know why. I think it could have just been as simple as some dude who feels power if he scares someone.
Oh, for sure.
It pisses me off.
I
I'm
think
like,
I think people get off on that.
catch me on the streets, bitch, because I'll whoop your ass.
No, you would too. I feel very safe with you. I've told you that before.
But behind a a motor vehicle, I'm not gonna let you run me over. So
No, it is scary though, and it would shake anyone up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she's obviously very shaken up. Trish is. Derry is too. And Trish says, all I can think about is, and she starts telling the story. And it's like a kind of like an urban legend. So it happened a long time ago where allegedly that, this girl went missing.
And it was like prom night, I believe.
Yeah, prom night. They never found her head.
Yes.
And Derry is like, look, like every generation has its own,
because it happened on that stretch of road.
right
too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's like every generation has their own cautionary tale
Mhm.
about drinking and driving, and yeah, it's just an urban legend basically.
Yeah.
Which reminds me a lot of I Know What You Did Last Summer, because they also kind of brush things off as, oh, it's just an urban legend.
And a lot, like I don't want to say a lot, but like urban legends can sometimes there could be like a hint of truth in them.
Yeah, they come from somewhere.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Usually in every lie, there's a little bit of truth.
This is true. This is true. It's very insightful.
I don't know if that's actual like fact, but I'm just gonna say it like it is.
It's like, have you ever seen the movie Nightmares?
no.
I have it on Blu-ray downstairs. I love that movie, but I loved it when I was a kid. And there is an urban legend about at a gas station, like the guys like in the back seat of the car. Have you
yeah.
ever heard of that one?
I'm sure.
It's good.
Is it the hook one?
No, it's like
Okay.
this girl.
The guy flashing his lights, and he's really trying to get the guy to tell her there's someone in his.
Yes, it's a variation of that. It's a variation of that. And I knew exactly what you were saying. I'm like,
I was gonna say, can we cut that? But you know what? Let's just leave it.
I'm like, yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
I know exactly what you're trying to
I
say.
could not get that out. He's trying to warn the girl that there's someone in her back seat. Every time he flashes his lights, the guy ducks.
Yes.
So he keeps flashing his lights. She thinks he's chasing her.
It's a variation of that, except it's a gas station attendant.
Got it.
That is like, looks really creepy, but he's like trying to help her. Any hoogly boos. Okay, so, where were we?
Derry realizes that this license plate said beating you.
Yes.
And he's like, I win. So they're kind of like, back to normal. Like, all right, I won. I won the license plate game. They start bickering, whatever. Later, they stop so Derry can pee off the side of the road.
Apparently, Justin Long says he was actually peeing here.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's what he said.
I mean, if they were like filming on site, well, I'm sure they have like porta potties when they're filming.
I don't know.
Who knows? Whatever. I get jealous that, I can't do that. But they do make funnels now. For
Really?
They make funnels that are shaped like I picture like a banana seat on a bike.
Whoa.
That you can just stick right there and just
shoot. That's great.
I mean, I wouldn't really. What do you do with it after?
Toss it?
Oh, I was thinking it's a reusable thing. Like you rinse it
Oh,
out.
I thought you were asking what do you do with the urine?
With the pee?
Just throw it away. What do you do?
Get rid of it?
I just toss it, man. I don't know.
But yes.
Yeah.
He's peeing. Derry has a bunch of dirty laundry in the back of his car.
And it smells terrible.
It smells bad. His sister's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, no, I have to bring it home for mom. Otherwise she'll get depressed.
Because he wants her to do his laundry. Like, she thinks that he lives to do Derry's laundry.
Mothers, please make a cutoff age. Teach your sons how to do their own fucking laundry for our sakes.
I know,
please.
Right? I know. Please.
All right.
Okay.
And they keep bickering, continuing on the road trip. They drive past this dilapidated house where they see the Beating U truck parked behind it. And actually, it's not a house. It's like a church.
It's a church,
but it's a building.
It's like an old shitty church.
Yeah. At first, I thought it was a house.
Is it sacrilegious to call a church shitty? Maybe.
I'm sure a lot of things we say are sacrilegious.
True.
But this is a dilapidated church. So, I mean, if any church is going to be shitty, it's going to be the abandoned one, right?
True. And they see a man, let's call him a man,
Sure,
carrying what looks like a body wrapped in a sheet, and he like chucks it down this pipe.
Yeah, it's wrapped in sheet rope and there are red stains on it.
Which is very similar to the original story, not the original story, the true story of what this is based off of.
Right.
Yeah. Minus the pipe.
Yeah, minus the pipe. And I think what I read was that it was just like a sheet that they saw.
But there was red on it. There was like blood on it.
Yeah, blood-stained sheet.
Yeah.
And so they see this and they're like, fuck this, and they drive off. But as they're driving off, this person sees them. He also doesn't look like a normal person, but you can't tell exactly what he looks like yet. He's
just big.
He's big, and also he looks like maybe a little gray. You can tell something's off.
Yeah, I see what, like his skin, you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
I thought you meant he's like, his hair is gray.
He's graying. He's getting older.
So he's like maybe mid-40s.
I feel like this creature is probably like thousands of years old.
Yeah.
But so this person, quote unquote, starts chasing them again, honking his horn the whole way up the street. Now he's riding their ass again. This time he is hitting their car.
Do you know what it makes me think of? Remember Grandpa from the Lost Boys, like
okay, yes, it's okay. The horn doesn't sound like that, but it is like
that's in my head. In my head, it's like
in my head, it's like ooga. That's kind of the noise that it's making. It's not that noise, but I feel like if you hear it, you'll understand.
Yeah.
So Derry even comments like, "How is he going so fast? That has to be souped up because that is like a piece of shit car."
Yeah.
But he flies up, starts ramming into the back of them, causes them to swerve all over. They can't see into his car because he does like drive past. The windows are completely tinted. That cannot be legal.
No.
And he eventually runs them off the road, and they go through this wooden fence into a field. But he drives away. And I'm thinking, why are you driving away? Why aren't you going in for the kill? I think there's a reason for that we can get to later on. But so they go outside, assess the damage, and they tie their trunk shut with a cloth.
Like a bungee. Oh, yeah, cloth. I thought it was a bungee cord. Yeah, I think you're right. It's a cloth.
It's some type of fabric they had. Maybe a shirt. I don't know. Probably his laundry.
His laundry, yeah.
His underwear. So Derry is like, okay, I'm thinking past my own selfish existence now. What if there were people that he put in that pipe and they're still alive? Which
Go
on
go
one
go to a
hand,
police station and report it.
so this is
Do
what,
not become a detective, sir.
do not be a vigilante.
No.
It's not going to end well for you. But Trish does say that. She's like, yeah, we can go get help by going to tell someone, let's go to the next town. And Derry is like, we're way too far from the next town. And it's going to
No.
be too late.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Trish's side is we need to take the safer route for ourselves and our own survival, which I
This is
agree.
the only part of the movie that I like Trish in.
I was going to say, I know you don't like her, but this part, she does make sense.
Yeah.
Uh, and also, she's like, you don't care about helping anyone. You just want to see if something nasty is at the other end of that pipe, which I could totally see
Yeah, it's like
a brother doing.
It's like morbid curiosity.
Yeah, like I want to see
Let's go on an adventure.
what's spooky
no,
down there.
the answer is no, friend.
Not after what you just witnessed.
There's no way. And already the vehicle that ran them off the road, the person's unhinged. Like, why would you ever risk going back there?
No, and
so stupid.
my thought is, okay, he drove away, but he's gonna go back home now.
Well, of course.
I'm thinking he's gonna be at the crib.
Nobody
know?
just drops a body down a pipe and forgets about it.
Right.
Especially because he knows that they saw him.
Right.
Anyway.
And so Trish does eventually reluctantly agree to go back, which is crazy to me, but she says she won't get out of the car. She's like, all right, fine, we can go look. You can go literally just peek down the pipe and then we're going home. So I'm like, okay, I get.
So stupid. If you were like demanding that, I'd be like, okay, you can walk there. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. That is
If my brother was trying to do that, I would absolutely steal the keys from him so he could not drive.
1,000,000%.
You're not doing that, or you're gonna walk by yourself, and I'm not gonna let you do that either.
He's what, like 20, 22? Like he's young. They're
Yeah.
both young, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's morbidly curious for sure.
Right. So they slowly pull up to the house. The truck is not there. So I was shocked. Like, oh, he didn't follow up on chasing them and didn't go home. Like, where the fuck
Right.
is he?
Yeah.
So we now I see anyway that this is a church, not a house, and it's right next to that giant pipe. And Derry is like, I'm just gonna look down the pipe. Trish, who just said she's not getting out of the car, gets out almost immediately.
Mhm.
So I don't really understand why she did that, but they approach the pipe, but of course they can't see anything. However, it does smell awful,
Yeah.
which I can only imagine. Especially once you see what's down there, I can only imagine how
Like,
this smells.
Rotten. Literally rotten.
They both mention it doesn't look or smell like a sewer pipe. It's worse than that. And sewer's disgusting.
Yeah.
So Derry claims he can see a light down there.
Yes. And he can like hear something.
Yeah, he starts calling out to see if anyone's down there. Then he claims he hears a person.
Yes.
And Trish is like, I don't hear anything. And now Derry starts climbing up. And Trish is like, absolutely the fuck not. You're not climbing into this pipe. And she says, you know the part in scary movies where someone does something really stupid and everyone hates them for it? This is it.
Absolutely. I love that little meta piece.
Yes.
there.
And
Yeah.
she is absolutely right.
Because the audience, all of us, we're saying the same thing.
Yes.
We're going, what are you doing?
Why are you climbing into that pipe? Then
That is when, okay, you've taken a peek. Now go to the cops
right.
or go somewhere.
You can't see what it is.
What are you going to say who's down there? How are you going to get down that pipe and how are you going to get back up?
How are you going to get back up?
It's so plainly stupid.
And what if it's just a I don't know, a pit with like spikes at the end of it? I don't know.
You don't know.
Like,
What are you falling into, dude?
yeah. So I guess his thought was, okay, just help me hold me down the pipe so I can look with my flashlight. I don't think he was trying to go down there, at least not yet. But he does start climbing. She's like, absolutely not. As they're arguing, they do both unmistakably hear someone
Yes.
down that pipe.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
they stop and just stare down. And it's such an eerie feeling for us because we're like, oh shit, someone is down there. I mean, we saw the body get thrown, but I'm thinking maybe they're dead.
Right.
So Trish is holding his feet now and he's dangling down the pipe with his flashlight.
And he can hear something. Like he
Yeah.
hears something and he's like, I could see a light. I can hear something. Rats.
Rats crawl right across his face.
And he freaks out,
Mhm.
panics. She's trying to hold on to him. He's freaking out. He's kicking his legs and she ends up dropping him
Yeah, she loses her grip.
and he tumbles down the pipe.
Yeah, and it's like a slow motion shot. I want to know how they did this
It
stunt.
is such a cool shot.
It's so cool. You just see him from overhead,
like
in the
slow
spotlight,
motion, like falling down.
and takes a fucking bump. And
Mhm.
it looks like he falls on solid ground. And I'm curious how they did it. If it was like on a crash pad, but they, I don't know, edited it in
It's
a way
cool.
where it looks solid.
Yeah.
Because I was like, damn, he just took a bump.
No, it is. It's a really, I love that shot too. It's very cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's relatively okay. His hand is cut, but he landed on dirt basically.
Yeah.
Though that pipe is probably rusty. So hopefully he's up to date on his tetanus shots.
Ew, that's immediately what I would be thinking.
Even
I would
though,
be panicked, man.
honestly,
I would never be in that pipe to begin with, but
no. And tetanus is the least of his worries.
no, for real. Yeah.
But now he's stuck. And it is a big drop from the end of that pipe to the floor. He's not just going to crawl back up that pipe.
And like when we say a pipe, we're not talking like it's honestly like it's like Super Mario pipe. Like it's big
Yeah.
enough that your whole body can fit down. Like a massive, massive. Like when I think of pipe, I don't think of what this looks like.
Yeah, and it's
It
a
almost looks like a
makeshift.
huge drain. Like
It's like a piece of metal that he's stuck in the ground. It's very makeshift. It's like it's
yes,
propped up by pieces of wood.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
And so he is kind of looking around. He's talking to Trish, and then he notices the wrapped body behind him.
Yes. He like she's calling down to him because he he can hear something like mumbling and then he sees the and she's kind of like what's going on down there?
Right.
And he's like approaching this wrapped body
Hmm.
and he ends up like unwrapping it.
Yeah, he tries like kicking it first. It doesn't move.
Yes. And once he unwraps it, it's a man or a kid. He actually doesn't look like a man. He looks like a kid. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't look very old.
Right.
And he's like half dead.
Like purple lips.
He's purple lips. He's trying to say something, but he's also all like stitched up.
Oh yeah. And so there is a jump scare here too. He grabs his leg from under the sheet before that happens.
Right.
But yeah, he rips open that sheet to see his face and all that. Like you said, his stomach is stitched and not like precise, not like from
No,
a doctor.
it looks like he used twine or something to like stitch
Ugh.
him up. It's like big stitches like you'd see on a doll.
Like from his whole sternum down to his probably like, I don't know, underneath his belly button.
Yes, it looks very infected.
Ugh.
And he tells Justin, sorry, Derry, to hide.
Yes.
He tells him he needs to hide, and then the guy dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's about it. And then
And she's like calling down to him.
yeah, like what are you seeing? Talk to me.
Yes, and he tells her that she needs to go get help.
Mhm.
He tells her to like go out by the road, and if and to like wave someone down, and if she sees that truck coming, she needs to come and like tell him
Right.
and like holler down to him.
Yeah, because he's thinking that this has to be connected to the church, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think this plan makes any sense at all. Like, cause she literally walks out to the road and she's just leaning on her car.
Okay, I was gonna say, from his perspective, I can see he's like, okay, I want to escape, but if he's coming, I need to hide.
Right.
But yeah, when they show her waiting,
Like it just looks like
she's not like in a bush,
she's just sitting at the side of the road, just like doing nothing.
sitting on the hood of her car.
I
Like,
would be like, okay, I'd be like, at least I'm gonna go in this church. Maybe there's like an exit somewhere. Like I would be doing something.
I would try to hide my car.
something. Like
'Cause-
she's just standing there. There are a lot of crows around.
Yeah.
Lots of crows. They're throughout the whole movie, but we
Yes.
start to see a lot of crows. And Derry is like now looking around the hole. Okay.
Yeah, now he's exploring this little whatever basement dungeon.
This is a lair. This is like textbook
Lair.
lair.
Yes.
There are like cobwebs everywhere. There's like jars with like red stuff in them. It almost looks like an old abandoned like science lab.
Yeah, I was like, okay, it's like a lab, and I'm like, oh wait, it hasn't been used in a long time because there's so many cobwebs.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like it looks like a lair. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's very dusty.
He ends up seeing what I assume is like a tomb or casket, right? That big wooden carved
Yeah.
box.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yep.
where the creeper would have emerged from, I assume.
I would think so. Yeah, that's probably his like sleeping quarters.
The sleeping
His
quarters.
23-year sleeping quarters. He goes down to like tie his shoe.
Yes.
And then he can see some shadows like in the background. Like we can see like shadows.
Yeah, we can see like almost bodies on the wall. I thought it was paintings. I thought it was a painting.
Yeah, we can see what he can't see.
Yeah, I love that because you're like, turn around, like there's something behind you. Because his flashlight's kind of shining behind him while he's tying his shoe.
Yes. And then something starts dripping
Ugh.
onto his shoes.
Yep.
And he looks up and he uses his flashlight and there are bodies bodies, bodies, bodies all over the ceilings, the walls. I mean, his decoration skills. Listen, he told his decorator, he was like, "This is what I want it to look like.
That
Corpses everywhere." And then the person went, "You got it."
say less, literally covering wall to ceiling,
Mhm.
just naked bodies.
Naked bodies.
Some are
I
so
wrote it looks fucking wild because it really does look
Oh my
wild.
gosh, yes. And
Mhm.
bodies have been cut up, sewn back together, where multiple bodies are sewn together. There are two bodies that are staged holding hands. One has a
Yes.
class ring on and the girl's head was sewn on.
Mhm.
So,
Oh, and she looks shocked.
yeah.
It like he looks shocked. It's just it's really fucked up.
Yeah, it is. It's disturbing. And so
Mhm.
this is the girl that they were referencing in that urban legend.
Yeah, he notices like a big red ring.
Mhm.
And the bodies have like massive stitches,
Yeah,
like similar to the body that he discovered of the boy, the man
right.
that he was not talking to, but you know.
Yeah, these bodies are also well preserved too. So there's definitely a supernatural element in this movie.
Mhm, mhm. But
So
at
I'm
this
not
point, we
right.
don't know yet.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
So now we see headlights in the distance while Trish is sitting on her car.
Mhm.
And Trish sees this and of course freaks out. And I wrote also, why are you out in the open?
Just wide open,
Yeah,
like the truck. How far away does that truck have to be to not see you?
right.
You know?
I mean, it's a straight road. Like he already saw her.
Yeah. Uh, but she thinks because it's like a truck coming, so she
Hmm.
thinks that it's actually the creeper,
Right.
and she jumps in her car and she tries to get it to start, but it's not starting.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know if this is her car or Derry's car, but like I noticed that they have some car troubles. Like it stalls a lot.
It is her car because Derry at one point is like, I told you we should have took my car.
Yeah, it's like I don't know why you would drive across. I don't know if they're going across the country, but I don't know why you would drive like a long distance in a car like that.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why she wanted to. I think she just
Like it
likes the
doesn't
car.
even look like it has air conditioning.
But her car is like a classic car, right?
I
So maybe
guess.
if you're a car person, then you will understand why she really wanted to take that car, even though it doesn't work very well.
Yeah, it sucks.
But it's not the creeper, it's a random car.
Yes, it's like a truck that looks kind of like it, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it just like drives past it. But like that, they could have helped her. That car, if she,
Yeah, she could have flagged them down. I didn't even think about that.
I can't
Oh
stand
my
her.
gosh. She could have been like, where is the nearest whatever.
Anything.
Yeah. And then jump scare. Derry slams on the driver's side window. He escaped the church.
And this is it's so dramatic. He like hits the window,
Yeah.
the driver's side window, and he just kind of like stands there for a few seconds.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's in shock.
Right. Yeah, after what he just saw, it's
It-
understandable.
And he's not saying anything.
Yeah, they're driving away now and he just won't speak. And she's like, talk to me. You know, she's getting frustrated. She wants to know what he saw.
Yes, exactly.
Also, their gas tank is almost on empty. And I wrote in all caps, stressing me out.
I wrote, I guess they got the car to work because it was like not working before, right?
Yeah, it just has a problem starting. Maybe they need a new starter. Is
Maybe
that a
they
thing?
should have just got a different car, Trish.
Is that a thing, mechanics out there?
Yeah, tell us. We don't know.
I'm just the girl.
Oh my God. So, Trish is driving and Derry hasn't said anything. He's pretty like in shock, I would say. And yes, the car's almost on E. Trish is like getting frustrated with him. She tells him they have to stop. And Derry tells her about the couple and the woman with her stitched up neck and the couple with the from the convo from earlier.
Right. Yeah. He's like mumbling to himself and he's
Mhm.
just like, she did lose her head. He sewed it right back on. It's so creepy.
It's super creepy. And the thing about Trish that like I can't stand, she's a very impatient person.
Same.
I mean,
Not like
I
that,
am
though.
too, but like she's just aggressive. Like throughout the whole movie, I feel like she's just constantly yelling and stuff.
It's interesting because from up until this point, I've agreed with her because she's like, no, we're not going back to the pipe.
Okay, yes.
Up until like she's sitting on her hood of her car out in the open. And then like from then on, I feel like she's at like a 10 all the time.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, there was definitely I don't know at what point I started not liking her. Maybe it was around that time.
It's probably when she starts yelling at the clairvoyant lady.
Oh, I was so irritated.
I
By
feel
okay.
like I could see that being the part that
Pissed
you
me off, man. Okay. So they do end up pulling up to like a diner gas station, which was a set that they built, and it looked so real that people actually were driving up to like eat there.
Oh my gosh.
I know,
that's
isn't that funny?
awesome. They need to use the phone.
They need to use the phone. But this is where I went, fuck this girl.
Okay.
Trish is just a straight up bitch. The second she walks in, first of all, she walks in and announces to an entire restaurant, like frantically, like they need a phone, they need the police, they need the like, girl.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you are not the main character. Like, take it easy. I mean, I guess technically she is, but
She's like, I literally am.
go to the counter like a regular human.
Yes.
Like, it's so like she just seems so self-involved. Like she walks in and just the whole fucking establishment like turns and looks like.
Yeah. It's so funny because I feel like we don't always make very strong statements or like, you know, say like I hate this or I whatever.
Yeah.
But this you're like, fuck this. It's so funny.
Because I just found it so rude. And then you wonder why nobody wants to help you. You're rude.
Also, I will say, I do. I don't even know how I'm going to say this. I think because I'm such a calm person in general, when people can't handle a high stress situation,
Doesn't it piss you off?
It does get really. It gets
it irritates me. Me too.
Same. Like you're saying, even if you're freaking out, I don't know. You need to like get it under control. Okay,
dude. I will have a private moment of like massive stress, and then I will get my shit together.
You walk to the counter, you say calmly to the person.
I feel like you and I are very similar in that sense.
Oh, we would fucking kill it. And if we had to like be in this situation.
Oh, I know. Because both of us are like very pragmatic. Like, it, you know, almost to a fault, I feel like.
Probably.
Like, I have a very hard time even crying. Like, it's just when shit needs to get done, pull it together, get it done, and then cry in a fucking pillow by yourself like hours later. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you need to get shit done first.
Yes, and sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, like, people who can't control it and they're just like, oh, and they start screaming.
Like, people that panic, I'm like...
But it happens a lot. A lot of people are like that. They can't handle the high stress. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a side tangent, but there was recently on a plane. Did I tell the story already?
I don't know.
Did I tell you the story about someone who, like, collapsed on a plane?
I don't know.
Okay, so I was flying back from Hawaii, and I finally fell asleep, okay? And all of a sudden, I heard a loud thud. Like, boom! Okay, something you never want to hear on a plane.
Sure.
So I shoot up out of my seat.
And you're already, like, an anxious flyer.
I am. And you know what? I have been okay recently, knock on wood. I'm not going to actually knock because I don't want it to, whatever.
Yeah.
So that is obviously terrifying, but I was half asleep too. And so I'm in an exit row, of course. And so I look, because I need the leg room. And I look down. It's like a big enough plane where the bathrooms is like a hallway.
Okay.
So I can see across to the other aisle.
Yeah.
And I see feet, like someone's laying on the ground.
Whoa.
And in my sleep, in my half woken,
like,
whatever.
dream state?
Yes, dream state. I just like, because people start yelling help. That was the other thing. Help, help.
Oh
Another thing you never want to hear on a plane.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck I thought I was going to do, but I literally, without even thinking, because I was half asleep, I just take my seatbelt off, get up, and like run over there. And it's so funny to me now because I'm like, what the fuck did I think I was gonna do? Like,
well, you wanted to check on them.
I know, but it's just there were already people there, which I couldn't
You're not
see.
a doctor.
I'm not a doctor, but also I'm thinking like I can lift them up if they need to be lifted.
The fact that you were willing to get up and help someone though, in a crisis,
I don't know why it's so funny to me. Just thinking like, what did I think I was gonna do? Like, does anyone need to get lifted? Because also, if somebody fell, if they collapse, if they hit their head, like you shouldn't lift them. You shouldn't move them. But I didn't know what I was thinking. The reason I bring up this story is because this woman came rushing by. So I see them. He's on the ground. He's unconscious, but two people are already attending to him. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my seat because there's nothing I can do.
Right.
So just checking by, whatever. I'm about to go back to my seat. This woman rushes past me and almost like slams me against the bathroom and is like, move, I'm a nurse. Like just like freaking out, which, okay, do your thing. But I literally went like this. Go off, girl. Like there was something about it that felt
the aggression and or maybe not the aggression, she had panic in her voice. Yeah.
It was the yelling move and almost pushing me when I was not even in her way.
Oh,
there was space.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
There was space, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not mad at someone for going to help. Okay?
No, of course not. Of course not.
There was something about it that I just knew. I was like, I'm going back to my seat.
I'm out. Yeah.
Exactly.
There's
Goodbye.
nothing more I can do here.
Goodbye.
I think it's like people having like, and that's not an irrational reaction at all for her. At all. Obviously, she's going to help somebody.
Sure.
But I feel like when people are irrationally like panicking, it makes me like livid. Like, because you're not going to help the situation. You're going to make it worse.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this scene with Trish, She walks into, and I get it. I get, like, shit is hitting the fan, but, like, you've now induced panic. I mean, she
Mhm.
doesn't, but she could have.
Yeah.
Just walk to the counter like a normal human being and say, "Hey, we're in the middle of a situation. I don't want to alarm anybody. I really need to use a phone. I have to call the police," or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I just hated the way she handled it. It fucking drove me crazy.
Yeah. No,
Anyway,
I agree. Like, you just came in at a 10. You could have just, yeah.
yeah.
And granted, I would understand that more if it was Derry.
Well, and she's also like, Derry, tell them what you saw. Tell them what you saw, Derry. Like,
Yeah.
Trish.
But like it after what Derry saw, if he was freaking the fuck out, I would understand that more because she doesn't even really know what he saw.
She also pushes him into a wall here, and she tells him to get it together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I mean by she's like all of a sudden on 10.
Yeah, and it's like I understand that this is like a scary situation,
And it feels urgent.
and it feels urgent. I just felt like there are better ways to go about handling this, girl, and you're not handling it great.
Mhm.
So then all of a sudden a payphone starts ringing, and I actually jumped. I jumped.
Oh, with the payphone?
The payphone.
Yeah, because you're not expecting the payphone to ring.
No,
Out
and
of
I
nowhere.
and one of the things I love about this movie, it's like it's very clever and funny. Like it's just ringing and ringing and ringing, and one of like the patrons in the diner is like, "You're gonna answer that?"
Yeah.
You know, to Derry, and
Yeah.
like finally, they do answer the phone.
Yeah. And it's a woman who immediately tells Trish, I need to speak to your brother. Like, are you there with your brother? Starts describing them,
Yes.
Trish and Derry.
Yep, exactly.
She's telling them that she's seen them, implying a vision, but she doesn't clearly explain this to them. So they're kind of like, who the fuck is this?
Yes.
And she is, once again, speaking of people who are frantic, she's very frantic in her explanation.
Yes.
She never just says, like, listen, I'm clairvoyant. I know this sounds crazy, but I saw this. She's just like, you're wearing a shirt. And then right above your stomach, there's a rose tattoo. Like, just starts going off like this.
Yes.
And they show his like little belly button tattoo, which
Oh my
looks like a
God.
little like stick-on tattoo.
I know, it is really funny, eh?
And she's like, "You found his house of pain." And I'm
His
like,
hole
"Okay."
is called the House of Pain.
And I'm like, "This is so dramatic." Like, I understand, once again, I understand the urgency here, but I also understand why they're like, "Take it down a notch. What the fuck are you talking about?"
Right, and she's kind of like she doesn't know where he's from, but it's not gonna stop her like going after the creeper or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah. And she says like once it gets the sense of something, it won't give up. She
Mhm.
tells them she knows the truck with the license plate and tells them to listen to Jeepers Creepers, and when they hear the song to run.
Yeah, she also says that awful license plate, and then she's like, he's like, beating you? She's like, "No, it doesn't say beating you. Think about it."
Uh-huh.
I don't think they ever actually say
Isn't it B eating you?
Be eating you.
Yeah.
He'll be eating you.
He'll be eating you. Yeah.
Terrifying.
Exactly. And then she's basically just saying like when you hear Jeepers Creepers, something terrible is coming, blah 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 blah.
She also, oh sorry.
No.
She also mentioned something briefly about cats, seeing cats.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He tells her to fuck off and he slams the phone down.
Yeah, he does. Fuck you, lady.
And then he turns back to like the diner patrons, and then I wrote Trish is really fucking annoying. I just can't stand her.
Yeah, I wrote, I understand this is upsetting, but how would she know all this at the same time? Like, why wouldn't you believe her if she has seen things that you are seeing and she can describe you?
Yeah, like it almost feels like they feel like they're just being fucked with.
And I'm sure in that moment you don't have time to really rationalize. So you're just
True.
like, just stop because I don't believe you. There's some kind
Yeah.
of trick going on here.
Yeah.
And so later that night, the cops show up to the diner,
Mm-hmm.
and Derry is starting to think that Trish doesn't believe him, and he's really upset about it. He's like, "Tell me you believe me," and she's just like, just staring at him like,
I don't know. Like, honestly, dude, I will say this. Like, I would believe you. If you told me that and you looked like that, telling me that,
yeah,
I would believe you, and it would scare me because first of all, why would you lie about something like that?
right,
Like, that's your brother. Like, why would you, like, is he a huge, like, trickster or something? Like, does he have a
Right.
habit of, like, coming up with elaborate, really weird lies like that?
yeah. Like, is there other family history we don't know about? And you're like, oh, this is just one of his normal delusions.
And he's, like, pleading with her. And the cops ask about the bodies that he found, like, the teens.
Yeah,
And I guess the cops, like, ran the license plates.
yeah. They said they're going to run the license plate, and then
Mhm.
he's like, "Who are those kids that you saw?" And he names them. He names the kids from that urban legend.
Right.
And the cop is like, the kids whose car we found smashed up 20 years ago, like they would be bones by now.
Yeah, and Derry's trying to explain that, like, the bodies are, like, preserved and they're, like, hard.
Hard like petrified wood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So something is obviously, like, I don't know if he's embalming them or what he's doing to them. But he definitely sounds unhinged. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Oh yeah.
Derry isn't explaining things in a way that, like, sound rational for
Because
sure.
everyone is so fucking frantic. Everyone
Agreed.
in this movie is so frantic that no one
Mhm.
is believing anyone because it just sounds like someone who's on drugs or something.
Yeah, like, it's coming out very exactly. It's coming out very, like, you're on drugs.
Yeah.
And I don't blame the cops, honestly, for, like, not fully believing it because it does sound, like, very strange, and they don't know these kids
Right.
and, like, whatever. But and now, like, the diner people are also getting worked up, and he's like, "Go to the old church, drive to the old church." Like,
Yep.
he's really painting a very scary picture here.
Yeah. And then one of the waitress comes over and is like, "Is that your car outside? Come see your car." And so
Right.
they go outside and someone has ransacked their car. And the
Yes.
waitress is like, "He was taking big handfuls of your clothes and he was sniffing them and it looked like he was liking it too."
Oh my gosh, which is like, again, we're learning more about the creep here.
Right.
So he's like an animal. He's like sniffing out dairy,
Yeah.
right? And like, when I first saw the car, when when I walked out of the diner, when I watched them walk out of the diner, I thought the car was like totally like messed up. Like I thought like the tires were like, I don't know.
Right. Like he
But
was trying to prevent them from getting away or
but it was really
something.
just ransacked.
Right.
The car was actually fine.
He just wanted to sniff his dirty clothes.
And the cops look kind of unsure, at least to me, they look unsure.
Mhm.
Derry's like freaking out. But then he points out, he's like, "Hey, he's like, what if there's a handprint? Like, what if there's
Yeah.
fingerprints?" And they're like, "What?" And they go over and they find like a handprint on the handle.
Yeah. He's like, "Can you dust it?"
And the cop says, "Well, it looks like somebody already did,
Yeah. So it just looks like dust.
like ash or
Yeah.
something." Mhm.
Also, there's one point where he grabs his underwear that have the name on the waistband and he's like, "Now he even knows my name."
Yeah, I mean, I'd be scared too.
Which, if you think it's a person, that would be a scary thing. In this case, it doesn't really matter what
Right.
your name is or that he knows your name or not. But I also want to know, why did they do that? Why did people write their name in their underwear?
I
That was
think
a
it's like
thing.
because like parents would do it for kids going off to college, right?
But why?
I don't know because they don't lose their undies. I have
I'm
no
gonna look that up
idea.
for the extended episode on Patreon for
I
this.
also don't understand like days of the week undies either.
No, me neither. I
I mean, I
think
guess it's like a cute concept, but
that was like for little kids, right?
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
like some adults still do
Honestly,
it. I
it
don't know.
creeps me out a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie, me too. If an adult does it, it's a bit weird.
But
Um, and like a breeze kind of hits, and Trish looks up at the sky, and it's like all like ominous. You know what
yeah.
I mean? But I guess the car is still running because they end up driving. Why are you
I'm
laughing?
sorry. I'm just looking at my notes. I wrote, "So did the creature dust their fingerprints off the car?"
No, isn't it like
No, I know.
it's
It's
like a
something else.
corpse or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's something
yeah,
else. But it's just funny that because I'm just watching this, typing out every thought that comes to my
yeah.
brain.
Like just a conscious stream of just like
Yeah.
doo-doo-doo-doo. Um. But yeah, so the cops are following Derry and Trish to the church because they were
Mhm.
like, "Yo, let me show you what actually is going on here."
Yes, this scene is wild.
Oh my god.
The g- I said
This
that.
is so crazy.
Oh my god. So the cops get a call on the radio, and someone on the other end is like, "Are you sure you're not escorting a couple of pyromaniacs? That old church is completely on fire."
Yes,
So is
dude.
that the townspeople then, or did the creeper do
No, the
that?
creeper did it for sure.
Okay, because when you mentioned that the townspeople, I don't know why I keep calling them townspeople, but
The
in the diner,
townsfolk.
were like, go to the church." I was like, "Oh, did they do it?"
I think the creeper did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, church is on fire. And then he's also like, the person on the radio is like, "The analytics came back on those fingerprints you dusted. It's dead skin, long dead."
Yes.
So that's why it was powder on their car, basically.
Yes, exactly. Because it's like from a corpse. And then we are cutting back to like Derry and Trish driving.
Mhm.
The Jeepers Creeper song comes on the radio.
But it's that other version that has been stuck in my head and drives me nuts.
It's so brutal. Okay, really quickly, do you want to hear where Jeepers Creepers originated from?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Jeepers Creepers is a variant of the slang term Jeez, which is a shortening of Jesus. and it became a thing in the US in the 1920s or the 1930s as an alternative to explaining Jesus Christ or exclaiming
Mhm.
Jesus Christ. So instead of that, you would say Jeepers Creepers. And then in 1936, AAA printed safety posters that said Jeepers Creepers, use your peepers. Then 2 years
Mm.
later, the movie Going Places featured the song Jeepers Creepers, sung by Louis Armstrong. The song was actually nominated for an Academy Award for Best Song in 1938, but it lost. Then in 1939, the phrase and song became even more popular after it was featured in the cartoon Porky Pig. And Porky Pig is investigating like a haunted house, which
Oh.
then helped associate Jeepers Creepers with like fear and horror and stuff.
Yeah.
And I watched it. You can watch it on YouTube.
Is it a black and white cartoon?
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, I love that story.
Yeah, it's kind of neat, right?
Yeah, I
So
had
I
no
don't know. I thought it was
idea.
important to the plot. Jeepers Creepers,
Absolutely.
where did it come from?
Yeah, I had
Now
no
we
idea.
know. Now we know. Jeepers Creepers. Okay.
And now you know.
So, any Hoogly Boos, yes, the song is on the radio. Obviously, this is very distressing for Derry.
Yeah, he's trying to tell Trish, like, this is the song she was talking about that we need to run when we hear it.
Yes.
And through their back windshield again, we can see the cop car driving behind them because they're following them. And we see the creature is standing, just standing on the cop car, on the roof. Roof of the car.
Yeah,
right?
the roof.
Hood
Yeah.
is the, okay.
Yeah.
Roof of the car behind them. The cops hear something.
Dude, in my notes it says, holy fuck, the creeper's on the roof of the cop's car. Like, I was like, whoa.
You are just like me, just typing out every thought.
Yeah.
The cops hear something on the roof, and then the one in the passenger seat, for some reason, decides to like climb out the window.
Because she wants to like see what's going on.
Which I understand, but she like put her whole, like she sat on the edge of the window.
And they're driving pretty fast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, could you just pull over? Like,
Creeper like grabs her and fucking yeets her, man.
yoinks her through the window.
Like, and tosses her.
I didn't even see that part.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
he like yeets
He probably
her.
does. He
Yeah.
has to, because I don't know where she goes after
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
But I didn't even write that down. Yeah, she gets yoinked through the window. The creature makes a hole in the roof of the car and pulls the other cop who was driving his head through the hole.
Dude.
And then decapitates him with his giant fancy axe, is what I wrote in my notes.
And then he tosses the head onto Derry and Trish's windshield, dude.
Yeah, so of course they swerve, big commotion, swerve to a literal screeching halt.
Yeah, they get out of the car. Couldn't be me, man. And they start like kind of looking around. The other cop car has like stopped. It's like it also like screeched and turned, and it's just like the scene is very eerie,
It's
right?
so eerie, yes, because the car is still on, but no one is moving, and it's
Yes.
just silence, and they're slowly approaching this cop car.
Yes. And so Derry notices like some goo on the car.
On the roof of the car, which is probably the same goo that dripped onto his shoe earlier when those bodies were stuck to the ceiling.
And Trish discovers the cop's head. And then the creeper like gets out of the car.
Yeah, she notices the cop's head is like in front of the car in the headlights. So obviously, whoever is in that car, because you can sort of see someone in the driver's
Like
seat
a
moving.
silhouette. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that cop.
It is not. He's missing his head. It's the creeper who apparently is a very good driver.
Yeah. Yeah, he really is.
Yeah.
And so they both run back to their car. The creature gets out, starts
dude.
whistling Jeepers Creepers. Okay.
Dude.
This scene is so creepy. He picks the head up off the ground, he sniffs it, and then Derry and Trish are watching him.
It is the sniffing of it is so like it's like taking like a huge whiff.
Yeah, like all up and down the side of the head, not just like a little. No.
He looks fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
It like he looks like a cool looking monster.
Yeah.
Like he's big and like his face is all like weird looking.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, we're mostly seeing a silhouette, but it looks like a demon-shaped face with pointed ears and some frizzy hair in the back.
Yeah, it's very scary looking.
He needs some hair oil.
I believe
Why
he
does-
needs a hair mask.
Honestly, he's kind of rocking a skullet, which if you don't know, that's like party in the back, completely bald up top. Instead of a
He-
mullet, it's a skullet. Get it? Okay.
He needs a hair mask and he needs some oil. Don't worry, baby, I got you.
But yeah, he sniffs all the way up and down this head. Ew. And then it looks like you can't really tell. Maybe he starts kissing it. Maybe he starts biting it. You don't know.
I know, it's hard to tell. I think he is eating it. But
Well,
it
he
also looks
is.
like he's making out with it,
It looks
so
like he's making out with it, but I mean, maybe he was because he starts pulling the tongue out with his mouth.
yeah,
It's
dude.
so fucking
No,
gross.
it's really gross. And the whistling is I want to say it was the editor. I think the editor was the one that was like actually whistling in the scene and it was just like a placeholder, but then they ended up using it.
He was the best whistler on the set.
Dude, did I
I
ever
mean,
tell you? Have I ever told you how much I hate whistling?
just in general. When people
I
like whistle for no reason and you're like,
Dude, have you ever like been oh my god. I've heard people whistling on airplanes before. I've heard people whistle. It makes my skin crawl. I don't know. There's something about it.
it depends, I guess, on the circumstances. But if someone is whistling because they're in like a jolly mood, I don't know. I'm vibing with it, I guess. But it depends. It depends on what and why.
I think it's a sensory thing for me. I
Oh,
just like,
okay.
oh
Like
god,
it's
even
like a certain pitch. You're like,
yeah, I'm like, please stop it. No one wants to hear it. Whistle by the water while you're, I don't know, throwing rocks or something.
there you go. Also, the creeper rather,
Mhm.
dresses like the Undertaker in his Dead Man era. Like
Dude,
think
dude, what a
think for
description.
real. Think like WrestleMania 20 or even like WrestleMania 33. Okay, big long trench coat, the hat.
The hat, the brimmed hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He's our creeper's right here.
Yeah, he's missing his hat, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere, but it's not on his head because his face is doing his thing.
It's doesn't he have like little wings on his face?
Oh, well, I don't even know.
They're like
We're gonna have to
like
try.
you know what? I think I could be wrong, but I think I read that there are elements of like the creature from the Black Lagoon
Okay, yeah.
because he does look like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
I could see that with like the scales and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah. And his like little like gills, like his little
Yeah,
his
we're
head.
gonna try to describe that once that scene comes up because I had a time. But
Do you know that the creeper was originally written for Lance Henriksen?
oh really?
Yeah, it didn't obviously isn't in it, but yeah, originally he was going to be the creeper. Or at least
Oh.
it was written for him.
Yeah, okay.
And we love him in Near Dark.
Yes.
He's amazing. Hmm.
So, oh my gosh, I could totally see him being the creeper.
But Jonathan Brecht does an amazing job as the creeper. He
Yeah.
actually the day of his audition, so the day before his audition, he shaved his head cuz he was like, "You know what? I think he had like long hair." And he was like, you know what? This creeper, he probably doesn't have hair." So he shaves his head. He calls his agent and he's like, "What do you think about me shaving my head?" And his agent's like, "Hell no, don't do it." And he's like, "JK, I already did." But he asks his roommate to do it at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
He like wakes him up and he's like, "Dude, I need you to shave my head." So he does. He goes into this audition and it's like known that you do not like touch anyone in the casting room.
Okay.
Like whatever your performance is, like don't touch the casting director, don't touch anyone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't listen to that. He like sniffed them all. He like went all out.
I mean, it worked for him, I guess.
And he ended up getting the part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess like on set, Justin Long and I think was it Gina Phillips? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. They did not interact with him at all.
Ooh, and so it's even creepier.
Yeah, because to keep that tension.
Yeah.
However, if you guys are at all interested, Justin Long posted for like the 20-year anniversary. He posted a picture of himself in like a headlock. The creeper has been a headlock, and he looks so like defeated. And he says in the caption, it's a really long caption, but he talks about how in that scene specifically, he was exhausted because he'd been screaming so much
Oh.
that normally in between takes they would separate and he would have nothing to do with what's his name, Jonathan Breck. He would have nothing to do with that. But he was so tired
Yeah.
and he just rested there.
I wonder if it was like the ending scene.
I think it was close to the end. Yeah.
Ugh.
So if you are at all interested, you can go on Justin Long's Instagram account.
Yeah, just go creep on his old posts.
I did because
Yeah.
I wanted to see if he had posted anything about
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers because this was like his first major picture. Like he had 2 before this. He did Galaxy Quest and like 1 more, but those were very small roles. This was his first like lead role.
And now he's like a scream king.
He is. Dude, this was his 3rd role.
That's wild.
Is that not crazy?
Yeah.
And he's great in it.
Yeah.
I guess like the director said he portrayed like fear so believably that it helped him get the role. And because he's so he's funny. He's effortlessly funny.
Yeah.
I love Justin Long.
Me too.
Yeah, he's great. Okay, anyways, sorry.
Okay,
I
so-
digress.
No, it's all good. We're describing the creeper. So the kids book it and they end up at some other random house in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, and we meet the cat lady who's
Yes.
played by Aileen Brennan, who was Mrs. Peacock in my favorite movie ever,
Aw.
Clue. I
Yay.
love as soon as she came on screen, I went, oh, my girl.
Mrs. Peacock.
I love Miss Peacock. She's so funny. She's a brilliant actress.
Oh,
She's
she
hilarious.
was great in this role too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the impression she left for such a small piece of the movie.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids are obviously desperate for help. They need a phone to use, anything. And do you know what her name was in the movie? Sorry.
She is just the cat lady.
Oh, the cat lady.
Yes.
Okay, that's why I couldn't find her name. That makes sense. Sorry to put you on the spot. But the cat lady is like, before they even get up to the porch, she's like, "Who are you? What do you want?"
It's at first when I first watched it, I was like, "Oh, is she in on it?" Like it was really
Yeah.
creepy.
Same.
Yeah.
And you can only see her via silhouette through her door at 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell her why they need to call the police. And she's like, no. Like, I don't want any cops out here. They try to tell me how many cats I can have.
yeah. She's like, there's like ordinance and we don't want that. And
Yeah.
Derry's kind of like pleading with her, like, I really need to use the phone. Like,
Then they tell her someone's been killed. And
yes.
then she is like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you can use my phone. She turns on her light, but she's more worried about someone coming to hurt her cats when she says something like, yeah, come on in. Like,
I know.
she's not really worried about someone being killed. She's like, oh, someone might kill my cats.
Yeah.
And so then the lights go out.
Mm-hmm.
And Trish is like, please tell me this happens all the time here.
Yep.
And you can hear the cats starting to get riled up, like, meow.
Yes, and they all the cats start like looking towards the
field.
the field.
She's like in a cornfield.
And they did that by smearing tuna all over like the screens and stuff to get the cats to look that way.
Ew, that probably smelled so bad.
I know, but I thought of you because you love cats so much.
I do love cats.
Mhm.
Also, my cats, if this was happening at my house,
Mhm.
the cats would not start going meow if they saw someone. They would just hide.
No,
they would
but
all hide under my bed.
No, I mean you're absolutely right, but I think it's because it's supernatural. Because animals have
they
like
can sense something.
they
yeah.
know when something's off, right? Like I
That's
remember
very
my cats
true.
used to lose their shit when I played with my Ouija board when I was a kid. Oh.
That should tell you everything you need to know.
Listen, I was 16 and stupid. Can I also say, like, this woman, man, she grabs her rifle and she is like ready to brawl with whoever is on her property.
She don't fucking play. She's
Dude.
like, that's not my scarecrow.
She don't give a fuck, man. She like shoots and then something explodes.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
She
yeah.
is just like ready to fire, man.
Oh my gosh, when she shoots, because she's like, you got 10 seconds to get your ass out of my yard. And of course he doesn't move. So when she fires, he like shoots up into the air and kind of goes like through her roof.
Yes, dude, yes.
Which at the time we're like, wait, what just happened? I think it'll make more sense later.
Yeah.
But she immediately runs into her house because she's like, my babies,
Her
you know?
cats,
Yeah. And the kids, of course, Derry and Trish. I just wrote
Mhm.
the kids a lot because I didn't want to write out Derry and Trish every time.
Mm-mm.
But they're like, don't go in there. They're trying to prevent her to go in there.
And and so it's black, right? We can't
Yeah.
see anything. It's black in the house, and then all of a sudden, gunshots go off, and I love it because there's a flash every time there's a gunshot,
Yeah.
and I think that just looked really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Right?
I felt so bad because right before she runs in the house, she looks at Derry and she's like, what the hell did you bring into my house? And I'm like, damn, I felt that.
I did too, especially like
Because-
it's just her and her cats.
Yeah, she literally was just minding her own business.
just living her life like
Yeah.
on her cat
Oh,
farm.
and she kicks him in the nuts before she runs into the house.
oh my god, I love her.
Yeah.
She's great,
And as she's running into the house, she's like, I'll blow your fucking head off. And I'm like, vibes.
dude. That would be you.
It would be.
That would be
me.
100% you.
But yes, like you said, gunshots.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kids come around the corner to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we see her standing there.
Just standing in the dark on the porch.
It's just her silhouette again, and she's still. And they walk around and she starts moving forward. But the creature has her up in front of him like a shield. Like her feet
He's
are
using
dangling.
her like a puppet.
Yeah, a puppet.
Like his hand is in her back.
Oh, okay. So yeah, her feet aren't even touching the ground and he's just moving forward. I imagined he was holding her up like by a
her
knife
spine.
through the back.
Oh.
But hand for him, for the creeper, makes way more sense.
I thought he just was like holding her like a puppet.
Yeah, because his only weapon he really used
You know
was
I
the
love
axe.
puppets.
You do love puppets. And they don't explicitly show how he's holding her up, but so we can imagine. But then he moves her to the side and we get the first good look at his face. And he's definitely not human.
No.
He has thin, razor sharp teeth. He has gray, purplish skin and ridges along his face. I can see where inspiration from the creature from the Black Lagoon came
For
from.
sure. Yep.
His eyes are milky, almost like he's blind.
Mhm.
And
Interesting. I wonder why that is.
yeah, that might come into play later.
Mhm.
And he just tosses this old lady to the side like nothing. And Trish and Derry, of course, get the fuck out of there, as they
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
And of course, the gears are sticking in their car again, and the creature jumps on the hood.
Mhm.
They finally are able to turn it on, reverse, and this motherfucker does a backflip off the hood of the car. He
It's
said,
like
and I'm an athlete.
I know, right? I was like wrestlers would love that spot.
He can do it all.
Yeah.
Because Trish then tries to run him over and he does like a Matrix like run over the car. Like
I literally
literally.
said the same thing, Matrix.
Yeah, the Matrix. Like twice he does that.
Yeah.
And him standing in the street, in that dark street, that is such a terrifying shot with like the
Mhm.
fog coming up off the asphalt. He doesn't have his head on here, so he doesn't look as much like the Undertaker, but you
Like
know.
you said, he doesn't have his head. I was like, what?
He does have his head, but not his hat.
His hat, yeah.
So Trish tries it again, and this time she does clip him, and he hits the windshield, then the back of the car before falling in the street. I don't know. Did she do anything differently here? Like, why was she able to get him, or it just happened that way?
I think it just happened that way.
Okay.
She runs him over like multiple times.
Oh my gosh. Darius like, do you think he's dead? And she's like, they never are. I was
mean,
like,
listen,
yes.
I have to say that's the thing. Now I liked this part about Trish.
You're like, okay, you don't like her, but she's making sense sometimes.
Oh, remember how I said that the whistling was the editor?
Yeah.
Just wanted to say his name. It's Ed Marks.
Okay.
Yeah, that was him whistling.
Good job whistling, Ed.
Heck yeah.
I can't whistle
and he's
that well.
great editor. Movie's great.
Great editor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't whistle that well.
I'm not even gonna do it. I hate whistling. You know that.
So
I've just told you.
Trish runs that motherfucker over twice. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she goes to do it again, and Derry's like, enough. And I
No.
wrote, why, Derry? Why would you all
Run
of a
him over
sudden,
again.
after everything you've seen, you're now saying, like, it's enough. He's had enough.
Yeah. Like, let's go.
You-
Let's just go.
You
Run him
think-
over one more time.
Yeah, why not? And she does, though.
Yeah.
So we see a close up shot of the creature, though, before that. And he has tire marks across his arms. His foot is like completely severed from his body. Like it almost looks cartoonish. Like there are tire tracks along his limbs and it's just like flat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's got like big ass wings. Did we talk about the wings?
So he starts to twitch.
Yeah.
Here. He starts to twitch a little bit as they're staring at him. Something is happening to his body and a giant bat-like wing shoots out of his back.
Yeah. And it's like the wing is like fighting. Like it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's like trying to.
It's like a reflex.
Yeah. And Derry's like, Trish, we got to bounce, man.
Yeah.
We
It
gotta
starts
go.
it starts flapping like it's trying to fly him away. I thought it was going to, but then it collapses.
Yeah.
And yeah, Derry, like you said, is like, get the fuck out of here. And Trish runs him over one
One
more
more
time.
time, man. Just for, you know, good measure here.
You got to.
I said, okay, I'm back on Team Trish.
I
My
mean,
notes.
I would have ran him over until his head was severed from his body. I know that's very graphic to say.
No, I would,
but,
I would want that head to like explode while
That
I
is
run it
not,
over. Like X.
Yes, that is not a human. Why would you think, oh, we can run over his arm and we'll be okay?
No. If he's
Okay.
anything like a vampire, like you need to take him out.
I would have thought he was a vampire. Like what? I don't know. I wouldn't know what else to think, I guess. But
Yeah.
so the kids are stunned to say the least, but they do get to the police station.
Yes, they're at the police station. The cops have someone that they're arresting.
Mhm.
And I said it seems like a small town crook.
Oh yeah, they keep, every time they show the door of the police station, there's a new criminal being brought in, and it's always like, I don't know, middle-aged white guy in a wife beater
Yeah,
and
yeah.
jeans.
No, totally.
Like-
It's 100%. So, Trish is on the payphone. She's talking to her mom, and we notice that there are a bunch of like missing persons, like flyers on a bulletin board.
Yeah, Derry's looking at them.
Derry's looking at them. I believe, I want to say that there's one with an actor, Tim. Keep talking. I'll find it in my notes. But
Okay.
they put like a couple people on there that are like recognizable.
A little Easter eggs.
Easter eggs,
I
yeah.
like that.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
at this time, Derry's looking at these posters. In walks Giselle, who immediately beelines for the kids. And she's like, are you Trish and Derry? And the police officer immediately is like, all right, leave them alone, Giselle. They've had a rough night. He starts to explain that Giselle helped them solve a missing persons case once, and now she thinks she's the resident psychic. So this is the one who called them on the phone.
Yes.
And she's like, look, you don't have to believe a word I say. And the kids are like, yeah, okay, and start walking away.
Yeah.
And she's like, you saw all those bodies, right? In the cellar? I saw them too. And then they are like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then she's like, did you see all the cats yet? I saw you with all those cats. So now they're starting to be like, oh, okay, at least Derry, you
Yeah,
know?
Trish is not having it. Trish is
Yeah,
really she keeps trying to walk away, but Giselle is like every 23rd spring it gets to eat.
for 23
She goes,
days.
she's psychically connected to it. Creeper
Yeah.
only eats certain things from people. Lungs so it can breathe, eyes so it can see. It all becomes a part of it. Whatever it eats becomes a part of it. It dresses like a man, but only to hide that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
She tells them that it likes something from one of them. She's not sure which one. It smells fear and guides it towards what it likes.
Yep.
It freaks people out so it can smell the drivers. So that's why it was like,
Scaring them.
that's why it was scaring them. Exactly.
Yeah, because Derry's like, how did you find out? By running him off the road? She's like, actually, yes.
Yeah, no, exactly. And sorry, the when Derry's looking at the missing persons posters, there's one, Tim Sullivan's hair is described as being a dusty beaver, and his occupation is a butcher, a baker, and a candlestick maker. And
Oh
there's
my
like a bunch of
gosh.
different ones if you pause it, you can like see them.
Yeah, I love Easter eggs like that.
Me too, me too.
Also, when she says, like, you know, lungs so it can breathe, eyes so it can see, she looks right at Derry when she says that.
Yeah.
She's like, eyes so it can see. Because she knows a little more than she's telling them. And she even says at one point that she doesn't know if telling them this is even going to do any good, but she's just trying to help them.
I just think like Trish is so aggressive towards her here, and I get it. Like it's like, but at the same time, like she is giving you some information.
Right. And because you know that something not normal, not natural is happening, why
Yeah.
wouldn't you believe that this woman can also see
Exactly.
the future or whatever?
Exactly.
So yeah, Trish is like, why are we talking to her? Like
Mhm.
automatically just against it. And then the lights go out because he also controls the electricity.
I know. And like I think the cops like drive away. Yeah, the cops drive away and then the creeper pulls up to the station.
Yeah.
And he's still like kind of recovering from this attack.
Yes. And given the information we were just we received from Giselle, we're going to find out that's exactly what he's about to do. So one of the officers is going around to check on everyone in their cells because the power's out. So he's telling everyone like, you know, I need to see your faces, like, you know, show yourself whatever in your cell.
Yep.
He gets to one cell where two guys are up against the wall, staring at him, like breathing heavily. And at first, my dumbass thought they were about to make some kind of like joke about them hooking up or something. I don't know.
Oh.
In jail? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where my brain was in that moment. But no, they signal with their eyes that something is going on in this next cell over. And then the cop goes over there and there is the creature. I keep writing the creature, but the creeper, butt ass naked. Okay.
He looks like a gargoyle.
He does look like a gargoyle. He's
Like
hunched
Goliath,
over.
man.
Yeah, he's hunched over and we only see him from the back. And he's eating another prisoner, and this prisoner's like convulsing on the ground. And he's specifically eating his foot, ankle, and like arm, whatever he has damaged.
Right. And you're going to see later that he has the tattoo, like the tattoo that is on the guy that he's eating. That tattoo shows up on Creeper's hand.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so gross. He's swallowing it like a bird, like when they just throw their heads back, like,
Yeah, no, it's so true. I said he's convulsing like when a cat is going to puke. That's like what it looks
Oh.
like to me.
Yeah, because it's like a full body, like heave.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, the other cops are threatening to lock up Giselle because she won't listen to them
Mm-hmm.
and leave the kids alone.
And they're trying to like escort her out to her car
Right.
too.
And she tells him again about hearing the Jeepers Creeper song. And Derry is like, we heard that song hours ago. And she's like, no, it's playing on an old phonograph.
Uh-huh.
I hear it while one of you is screaming the last scream you'll ever scream.
Dude, it's like
which
crazy.
is so creepy.
Yeah.
So ominous. And an alarm rings at this time. And now all the cops start running around.
Yeah, and like because the cops get a call on the radio that the there's something going on with the dude in the basement.
Right.
And Giselle gets Trish and Derry to go with her.
Yeah, they kind of escape at this point.
They kind of escape, but they're still in the station.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I said the radio cop says, oh yeah, because the radio cop is trying to describe what the creeper looks like.
Yeah.
And he says, he has the weirdest fucking body you've ever seen. This guy just climbed up the fucking wall.
Yeah.
This fucker is gone. And I wrote the dialogue rules.
Yeah.
He goes, he's a real mover and shaker.
Oh my gosh.
I was crying.
Yes. That was so funny. And they're telling the other officers this is an active threat. He's coming up the stairwell. He's coming toward you.
And like all the cops are ready, like waiting to shoot.
Yeah. And of course, there's a long period of silence. And one officer moves closer to check it out. it's just like a dark stairwell. He can't see anything.
Mhm.
And then he turns around because I don't know why you would turn your back to that. I know I can hear the dog
He's
snoring.
snoring. Oh, and he has a little smile on his face.
Aw, he loves the story we're telling about the
Oh,
creeper.
good boy, Toby.
Okay, so uh when the officer turns around, of course, suddenly the creature, whatever, creature, creeper, interchangeable, swoops down from the ceiling like he's upside down on the
Like a
ceiling.
bat.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You know what? I was thinking about the movie The Professional and how he goes upside down on this bar toward the end of the movie, but a bat works way better. Anyway, so he literally rips a hole through that officer's chest.
Dude, like, rips his heart
I
out.
was about to say, seemingly taking his heart.
Mhm.
And then he
I love the
flies.
cop still, like, he's like, "Oh," like, looks down at his, like, open hole.
I
Just like,
know.
"Dude, you'd be dead."
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. I really
Yeah.
don't know what your capabilities would be at that point.
Mhm.
So the creeper flies up this spiral stairwell and all the officers run over there and just start shooting up this stairwell, all of them. It just seems real reckless.
It is, for sure, yeah. I mean, they did just see a guy get his heart ripped out, but still, they should be trained better, I would think.
Yeah, and maybe don't waste all your ammo at the very least. I don't know.
Derry Derry Giselle and Trish are all like, they hear the commotion, but they're locked inside.
Your Diddy just scared the shit out of me because I thought he was already in here and I just heard something coming in from the hallway and I was about to fucking
It's the
yeet
creeper.
my laptop across this room. Sorry.
Oh, Mr. Dids. So this is another part where I was like, Trish, like, she's just like freaking out, and she's like she's like accusing Giselle of like knowing what's happening, but like not knowing enough of what's happening.
Yeah, she's like, why don't you give us something useful or something
Yeah,
like
and it's
that.
like, she didn't have to tell you anything, Trish.
Right.
She could have just not warned you at all.
Oh yeah, and she's mad that the door is locked that she took them to, right? And she's like,
Yes.
I thought you were psychic. And
Yeah.
then she's like, yeah, sometimes a piece is missing. And then Derry, while they're sitting there, he suddenly is like, you know which one of us it chooses, don't you?
Yes.
You know, and she won't answer. And she starts getting emotional. And
Mhm.
he's like, are your dreams ever wrong? And he doesn't even get an answer because the creature comes around the corner and is crawling across the wall, by the way, to do so.
Yep.
And so
I
Giselle,
know, it's like really creepy.
yeah, he's like, eh. So Giselle provides a distraction, tells the kids to run while she stays there.
Yeah.
And she just like drops to her knees and starts praying, which I'm like, I mean, that's a choice. And I mean, maybe it worked because the creature dropped down from the wall,
He like smells her.
sniffs her all up and down her face a few times. It's so creepy.
Yeah.
And then he leaves.
Because she isn't what he wants.
Apparently, he didn't like her. I know something's wrong with me because I feel like if he did that to me, I would be insulted.
Would you be like, oh, I'm not good enough for you,
Oh,
creeper?
you don't like
Oh, I
how-
don't smell good?
Exactly. I don't smell good enough. What's wrong with me?
What is it? What is it about me that you don't like,
Can
creeper?
you just tell me what you don't like?
You don't like my eyes? So Derry and Trish, like, they go somewhere in the station. It looks like an interrogation room. And they're trying all the windows. Like, everything's locked down. There's no way to get out. But there is a two-way mirror in this interrogation room.
Yes.
And the creeper is on the other side of the mirror. And Trish is, like, kind of looking through. And the creeper is, like, nose to nose with her.
It's such a cool shot.
It is so cool. This is where you can see the tattoo on his hand.
Okay.
And at this point, you can't tell who he wants. They're making it out like he wants Trish.
Yeah, and it's possible he was even trying to figure it out here because he is gonna sniff them
He's
both.
like smelling them both. Yes, exactly. And he kind of is watching Trish and Derry like fighting with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, okay, I've had enough of this. And he dives through the glass mirror.
Yeah.
He grabs them both by the throat.
Can I tell you how many times I've ever been like, okay, I've had enough of this and wanted to dive through a glass mirror? Plenty. But continue.
You know what? I've had enough of this. And yes, he's like sniffing them both. He's like licking them. And he licks Trish's cheek like a real creep.
Yeah.
And then he tosses her across the room.
Mm-hmm.
He has Derry by the throat when like the cops come.
Yeah, and they're now in their SWAT gear.
Dude, and you get a really good look at Creeper here.
Yes, this is the best look we get at him. Like full lights shining on his face.
He looks wild. Like, he looks obviously very scary, but his head now has like expanded, and it's not like claws, but it's almost like gills, like big,
Like, the ridges on his face opened up,
like what do you call it? Like a triceratops.
okay, I looked up the dinosaur because that's exactly what I was thinking
What
of.
are you thinking about the one in Jurassic Park when it spits? Or are you talking about the Yeah.
Dilophosaurus.
Oh, I just hit the mic, sorry.
So I looked it up because I was like, that dinosaur in Jurassic Park that I always want to call a velociraptor, and it's not a velociraptor, it's a Dilophosaurus, which so it has like the, what is it called? I wrote it down. The frill, the neck
Oh,
frill
frill,
that
yeah.
opens up, and they in the movie spit venom, which I also went down a rabbit hole because I love random rabbit holes. And I randomly read that there's actually no evidence that
Yeah.
those dinosaurs have a movable neck frill, and how they're depicted in that movie may be completely
A
inaccurate.
lot of the dinosaurs in that movie are
Yeah,
inaccurate, yeah.
but that is what I thought of,
Mhm.
and, that's it. The creeper has that, like, across his face with, like, little hooks that
Yeah.
almost reminds me of, like, a I don't even know,
He's creepy looking.
an insect,
A lizard, he's like a cross between like a lizard, like Creature from the Black
so
Lagoon,
many different
meets a
things,
dinosaur,
but he's
um,
terrifying.
huge wings,
Mhm.
like, and
He
this is
also
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say he also lets out a shrill squeal.
Yes, and here Trish starts like begging Creeper to let
Mhm.
Derry go and to take her instead.
Yes.
And you get a close up of like Creeper's eyes, and you're like, is he thinking about it?
He seems like
Is he
it.
considering it?
'Cause she's like, "Whatever you want from him, you can take from me. I'm stronger. I won't fight you." Like, saying I won't fight you, that did something to me.
Yeah,
Like,
because
ugh,
she's willing to sacrifice herself for her brother. And it
yeah,
is like noble, right? It's like, I have to say, obviously, like, as much as I
sure.
don't love Trish, this I love about her. Like, she's willing to die for her brother. Do you notice that she wears glasses early in the movie? She's got like reading glasses.
No.
She has reading glasses, just like a quick scene. So,
Oh, shit!
yes,
So that's why he doesn't
he
want
doesn't want
her.
her. Yes. But he thinks about
Damn!
it. He thinks about it. I think maybe he's like, readers aren't that bad. Like maybe,
I could wear a pair of
I
readers.
it's I don't know how many books he's reading, but
Or, like, maybe he was considering taking something else from her
yeah,
and just kinda, like, assessing the
he's
situation.
contemplating it, and then he's like, "Nah." And he like has Derry and he flies out the window, and Derry's just screaming.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Ugh.
And then okay, this is where I was like, I thought this place was on lockdown because Trish just walks, like, just runs out of the building.
Yeah, she's running down the street trying to follow them, but obviously
But
she's
I
not.
thought it was on lockdown.
I thought so too, but maybe I
Movie
don't know.
magic, who
I
cares? Yeah,
They're all busy in their SWAT gear, not
true.
shooting the creeper.
I
So,
guess, yeah, I guess they had to open the doors to let the SWAT team in.
well, I assumed that was the same police that just put on their SWAT gear.
Okay, so
But
then
either
they
way,
definitely
I don't know.
how did she get out? Who knows?
I don't know, but
But yeah, she kind of like is like running after them, and he's flying in the sky like a big ass bat.
yeah.
And then you just see like the backdrop of like the moon. It's
Mhm.
very cool.
Yeah, and then we cut to the morning. Trish is just sitting at the police station defeated.
Yeah.
Giselle comes in and tells her folks just pulled up outside.
Yes.
And Trish says, "You never answered him. Are your dreams ever wrong?" Because they don't know
Yeah.
where Derry is now. And she pauses for a moment and she says, "I'm just a crazy old woman,"
Yeah.
because she doesn't want to tell her what she knows.
Right.
And I do believe that she knew it was going to be Derry, but she didn't want to say that because who knows what that would do to someone's psyche. Maybe he would just lay down and be defeated
No, for
if
sure.
he
For
knew that.
sure. Yeah.
And we follow a crow in the sky that
Hmm.
Trish sees all the way to this different abandoned industrial location.
This still looks like the creeper's lair.
It definitely looks like the lair, but I think he has multiple layers.
I agree. Yeah. Especially if he's like 1,000 years old. I'm
Yeah.
sure he knows like all the hot spots.
All the hotspots, plus the church got burned down.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, moving on to the next. They found that one. I assume they would have found all the bodies in there if they burned down the church, right?
Yeah.
Like, do
yeah.
you not see this giant pipe in the ground? It's huge.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're at this abandoned industrial location now.
Uh-huh.
And the camera goes through this damp, dark building. Like, ceilings are dripping. And we can hear Derry screaming in the distance.
like like those like what is it called, gut
Guttural?
wrenching gurgling screams. Yeah,
I hate it so much.
it's very damp down there.
It really sits with me in an unsettling way, hearing him screaming over and over and over like that. I do not like that shit.
No, and Jeepers Creepers is playing
Yeah,
the
very faintly.
old timey Classic Jeepers Creepers.
On a phonograph. Yeah. We see the room where this new lab is. The creature is
Sewing something.
doing his little DIY
He
projects.
he is DIYing it.
Yeah.
He is like Penelope with her like Cricut machine.
Oh my gosh, yes, when she made me the Frida Kahlo tumbler.
Yeah, and she made me a sweater that has like my phrase on it. She's the best.
You can make sweaters with it.
I don't know if she did with a Cricut,
Oh,
but she
okay.
did some. She
I
made
was
me
gonna
like a
say,
sweater.
I have a Cricut and I never opened it. I know. I need to open it.
Yeah, it's very cool.
But also, I already struggle with time management.
No,
so
no,
any more
same.
projects? Anyway,
No, yeah.
so
Just say.
we the screaming stops at this point,
Mhm.
but we're hearing Jeepers Creepers
Mhm.
on the phonograph, and we see a body strung up, sewn together with a rose tattoo around its belly button, and it kind of pans up the body from like the stomach up. And we see Derry's face with not only his eyes plucked out, but it's 2 holes straight through his head, or it's just
like
like
someone took like a puncher through it and just like
because
punched
you
through.
can see right through. And so either it's just his face or it's a hole like straight up through his head.
Mhm.
And the camera gets closer and closer to one of his eyes. I'm like, can you stop? But it gets closer and closer until the creature pops up behind him and we can see his eyes are no longer milky looking. I'm doing this while I'm talking.
Yeah.
His eyes are no longer milky looking. They're brown.
Yeah, he's peeking through the hole.
So he took Derry's eyes.
It's the cover of Jeepers Creepers, the movie.
Where'd you get those peepers?
That's right.
Right
Apparently
there.
that's Justin Long in makeup. The eye.
Oh, okay.
That's what I read. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Yeah,
I
it's
read that somewhere.
almost. Is that the cover behind this figure?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's almost because it's in the movie. It's the whole of his face.
Yeah, but it's
but
like
it's very close.
yeah, it's like I think it's supposed to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the end.
And then there's a little post credit of him driving through the sunset in his creeper truck.
Yes, because
Mhm.
as one does, once you get a new pair of eyes, you know what are you gonna do? You got to take them out for a spin.
Go for a little night drive. The song is great. It's like a boogeyman song.
Oh yeah.
And I guess originally this movie was going to be called Here Comes the Boogeyman.
Yeah,
They changed it.
I did read that, and I am glad that they changed it. This is like short and sweet.
Yeah, I agree.
What I want to know is,
Mm.
what did Trish tell her parents? Because like dozens of cops witnessed this. So how did they describe this in their reports as well?
Did you see part 2?
I don't know that I did.
I saw it when I was inebriated in a movie theater once, so I don't remember any of it. I remember there being a school bus, but I'm wondering if we get more explanations in the as the movies go on.
Yeah, that's very possible. I'm totally down to watch the sequels. I definitely did not see 3. I might have seen 2 over the years and forgot about it until I
Yeah.
watch it again.
The other thing I was going to ask you too is like, does the song Jeepers Creepers is it only connected to Derry? Because that's like going to be playing when he was getting his eyes ripped out, or is it like for everyone? Because it seems like it's just for Derry.
It just seemed like it was going to be, it was just her vision of seeing that final scene where
With
he's
for
for
Derry,
Derry
but
when that song just happens to be playing
yeah.
in that moment. But maybe he plays that all the time whenever he does his little DIY.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's interesting. I don't remember the second one, and I haven't seen any more past that. So I'm not sure, but I'm kind of curious about that.
Yeah. I know a lot of people also ask, how did this creeper get a vanity plate? Though I also feel like did he register? But I'm also thinking, okay, do you see how many bodies he had in that cave, in that lair?
Yeah.
Like you
Maybe
do you-
maybe he ran someone off the road that had that plate.
there you go. That's an easy explanation. Or
Yeah.
I was even gonna say if he got that plate, he could have just used I don't know, someone's ID of the like hundreds of bodies that he has in this lair. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like that could be easily explained, but it is kind of funny to think about. Like even him driving is kind of funny because he can literally fly.
No, I know. It is funny watching him drive. I'm not gonna lie, especially knowing like he's just so large
Yeah.
and has wings. So Derry Jenner's name is a tribute to Stephen King's It.
Yes.
It's in Derry.
the town of Derry.
The town of Derry. Yes, I love that. The creeper will only go after a complete set of sensory organs, which is like why he goes after Derry, because Derry has good vision
Mm.
and doesn't wear glasses or have any like eye. So
Yeah.
I'm set. I'm good because I'm like negative 10.5.
Shit, I have good vision.
Yeah, so you might not be you might be a good candidate for him.
Well, I don't. Oh, you know what? I was gonna say that didn't hold up for him taking the guy's leg, but I'm like, wait, he took his arm too, and that is sensory. That's touch.
Mm,
You could say that's touch.
mm. Yeah.
I mean, he also needed to replace them because I got ran over, so
Oh, that is
maybe
true.
that was an exception, I don't know.
He also originally was going to have a line in the movie. Originally, when he kills the cat lady, he says, "She don't smell too good, Darius." But they cut it.
Darius.
Short for
Oh.
Dairy, short for Darius.
Oh, that makes sense why his name is Dairy. Because I didn't even think about like who calls themselves Dairy. Like
No, I
I'm
agree.
thinking dairy like a dairy
Like a
cow.
dairy cow. Yeah, I think it's a weird name. In fact, I was writing Jerry for most of it until I realized it's dairy. I was like,
Yeah.
oh. And then I have one more like little
Yeah.
thing. Um, in 2017, I guess there's like a commentary on maybe one of the Blu-rays or something, but Justin
Mhm.
Long discussed like a stunt that went wrong. Apparently to save money, Justin Long was in the car rather than a stunt man, um, with a stunt woman who played Trish, and that was the scene where she's supposed to hit Creeper with the car.
Mhm.
However, the speedometer was broken and she ended up going too fast, and the Creeper stuntman was badly hurt in the collision, and Justin was showered with broken glass.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's quoted as saying that that happened.
Damn.
Hmm. And also, apparently, the Creeper was going to have a big old dick, and Francis Ford Coppola, who I guess is close with the director Victor Salva,
Mhm.
told him, "You got to cut that out. You can't. He can't have that."
And
Apparently,
I want to know in what capacity, like when he was naked in this jail cell,
like when he was naked, that he was gonna have genitalia.
it was just going to be swanging.
I guess, but yeah, he was like, "No, that needs to come out."
Wow. Yeah, I think that was the
Yeah.
right move. I also feel like we should just briefly touch on the fact that we haven't really mentioned the director here for a good reason,
Uh huh.
just because he's a huge piece of shit and we don't want to talk about him.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about him.
So that's all we're going to say about that. But yes, we
Mm-hmm.
are aware.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate because movies are always a labor of love of so many people
Mm-hmm.
that go
Mm-hmm.
into making it
Right.
what it is.
Right.
So yes.
Yes. And okay, one more thing. The creeper clinging to Derry before flying away is a homage to the monster from the Black Lagoon movies. And that's what we were talking about, creature from the Black
Yeah.
Lagoon, which I think you can really tell that he looks like the creature.
Yeah.
Do you have any more tidbits for them?
I don't.
I mean, either. I think that is all I have.
Oh my gosh. I love this movie so much.
It was so fun. It was such a good one to cover. I'm so glad you suggested it.
I remember being so scared of it. I must have seen it maybe in my young adult years. So I feel like I really didn't get into loving horror movies until more like, I don't know, in the last like 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
But I remember watching this. I don't know that I watched it when it came out in 2001,
Mm-hmm.
but
I didn't. I didn't see it till years later. I didn't see it till a couple years ago.
oh really?
Yeah, I don't know why. It never like interested me.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
now
know.
like you got a little figure now.
I know. Now I love the creeper.
Yeah, I must have seen it, I don't know, as a teenager or something, but not when it first came out. And it fucking scared me because I was still very scared of a lot of horror movies. So,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, like still Derry screaming in the distance and then he's just strung up and sewn together and I hate it.
No, it's a good movie. I like it. It's a good horror. It's a good little horror.
I'm like, I hate it. I love it.
It was great.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for listening and watching. If you're watching on YouTube, listening on whatever platform, podcast version, thank you so much. You can help out our podcast so much by giving us a 5-star review if you feel so inclined. Also, subscribing to our YouTube, which is free, commenting on our Instagram or our YouTube or our TikTok, which is at Chainsaw Girls Pod.
Yes, and we also have a Patreon, and right now we're going to shout out our top tier patrons. Let's rock and roll. Jonathan W, Rob V, I would like to, David T, Heather D, Franchise Driller, aka Ryan. We've got Josh N, Millie C, Adrian G, Chris S, Alexis T, Adam VL, and James C. We love you guys so much. Thank you for being our top tier patrons. Okay, bye.